This is Brett Clay and Owen Allen, again in San Francisco Airport. 5 weeks after we left to go to Sydney, we're back where we started. How does it feel, Owen?
You know, it feels great. It's been a wonderful time meeting a lot of partners and a lot of Microsoft people and learning a lot about their experiences with Windows Azure Platform.
Yeah, we talked to SIs, system integrators, independent software vendors, and Microsoft salespeople in 9 cities, 8 countries, 4 continents.
Yeah, and it was amazing. From excellent people in Sydney and Singapore and Europe, and now finishing up here with Atlanta and San Francisco and Toronto. Just an amazing trip.
So what are some of the takeaways what are some of the observations you'd have that went across all the different countries? Some of the things that were in common?
Well, I'll tell you, I entered the trip with some ideas, some preconceived notions about what types of applications might be good. There's a number of selling opportunities for Windows Azure, and I thought each one of those would have some samples, and those are the ones we used in the training, etc. But I was impressed with the range of solutions that the ISVs and the system integrators continue to come up with in every city.
Yeah, I mean, one, they were talking about the parking garage companies that turn those pedestals that open up the gates to go into a parking garage into smart endpoints. We had an insurance company in one of the countries in Europe was developing a commission system so that auto dealers could package insurance with an auto at the time that the auto was sold. So you drive out with a car that's insured. There were just lots of different opportunities and applications that people have found to stand up applications quickly and deliver new functionality to the businesses.
I think one trend is that there will be more freedom between partners. I think that you'll find ISVs more willing to partner with system integrators. You might find system integrators running for the quick work right now. There's going to be plenty of quick work. But I think you'll find that more applications will be shared more easily than they were before. We'll see if that's the case.
Hey, let's play a little bit of Mythbusters here. Some cloud computing, sort of like Mythbusters. How about hype or reality? So, cloud computing, hype or reality?
Cloud computing reality. I think that just as we used to code programs straight through procedurally, and then we went to N-tier programming, I think this is going to be as big of a change now that we're going to cloud computing. How we design applications will be different.
Right, and just really taking advantage of the network, essentially, right? Having everything be connected.
And abstracting from the hardware even more.
Right, and abstracting from the hardware. So everything lives in this application layer that's abstracted even across geographies.
Yes.
So, in terms of reality or hype, I would say that what I asked this question in all of the trainings I did to system integrators, and I think there's a lot of vendors out there talking a lot about cloud. And IT companies, CIOs, or IT administrators, IT decision makers and CIOs are aware of it and are thinking, what is this cloud stuff and what am I going to do? It seems to me that that's the stage of adoption where we're at. Early adopters are there and they're taking advantage of it, but we're clearly not mainstream yet in cloud computing.
Well, we've had phases like this before. We've had phases where the desktop database phase went crazy, right? And everyone was like, everyone's got a database, which one's better? Then we had different programming languages, and we had different ERP and financial situations, right? And they all stabilized, and everybody found something that fit for them, and then they went through a consolidation phase, and I think we're going to see an explosion of cloud vendors, and people will find things that fit for them, and then, but it's time to look around, and it's time to say, hey, let's explore this, because it is reality. Let's find the vendor that works for us. We hope that a lot of people look at Windows Azure Platform.
All right, what's another, let's think of another reality versus hype perception that's out there. How about that you can totally get rid of your IT department by moving it to the cloud?
Oh, sure, of course, right? The IT people know that they're going to get fired if they move to the job, right? Well, I like the example of Kelley Blue Book, where once they moved all of their Kelley Blue Book website into Azure, that they had 36 web servers that they were able to re-platform for other business priorities that had been in the queue, that had been waiting for resources. And those IT people and those programmers were working on those applications. The day between now and when IT groups are able to move completely to the cloud is years away. There's going to be quite the transition. There's going to be a lot of new kinds of work in this bridging that'll keep the IT professionals busy.
Okay, how about this? Hyper reality, cloud computing equals hosting.
Cloud computing equals hosting. Well, I'm not sure how that's hyper reality, but cloud computing is... Hosting is like the very first edge of cloud computing. It's not the end direction of cloud computing. It's like the sticking the toe in the water for cloud computing, and we've been doing that with hosting for years. And so now it's time for IT groups to say, okay, what is it beyond hosting? How can my business change with cloud computing in directions past hosting?
Hyper reality, cloud computing enables your business to be more agile.
I believe so. I think that anything that cloud computing does enable our businesses to be more agile, and anything that cuts deployment costs and allows us to deploy more rapidly allows us to be more agile. We're able to test faster, we're able to deploy faster, we're able to experiment and fail faster and find the things that work faster.
I mean, I think that's one of the misperceptions that we certainly saw all across the world, is that people don't understand, especially with Windows Azure Platform, that it's really a way to quickly develop and deploy custom applications that the line of business or the business owners really want, but can't get out of their existing infrastructure because they're likely resource constrained. And so this actually does enable cloud computing. That's actually a reality, and particularly when we're talking about Windows Azure Platform.
Yep.
So any other observations across, how about the readiness? So in talking to, I had the SI track all the time. You had the ISV track. So the SIs their stage of adoption right now is they've got existing practices, whether they're hosting or they're doing application development or doing some system integration of other applications, but they're all right now wanting to learn about Windows Azure Platform and cloud computing to know that what are the capabilities, and they're starting to realize that this is another set of Windows Azure Platform is another set of tools in their toolbox to enable them to solve their customer problems.
I completely agree. I think that the system integrators aren't going to be able to be completely dedicated to Windows Azure Platform, except for some boutique types of agencies for a little while, because there's going to be a lot of migration that's going to have to happen and preparation that's going to have to happen to get people ready. ISVs, on the other hand, they need a 2 or 2.5 year window, 18-month window in order to develop. So ISVs today are making the decisions whether they're going to invest fully into Windows Azure or into other cloud platforms. And so we'll see some big bets coming from ISVs.
Excellent. Well, it's been a really fun 5 weeks. So hopefully you've been able to tune in, and we try to be pretty good about reporting once in a while as we're on the trip. It's been a very busy trip. We'll just review again. We started here in San Francisco on November 5th, I believe it was, Friday. So it's almost 5 weeks. We're shy of 2 days of 5 weeks. We went from here to Sydney, Sydney to Singapore, Singapore to London, London to Amsterdam, Amsterdam, Munich, Munich, Warsaw, Poland, Poland to Atlanta, Georgia, Georgia to Toronto. And by the way, if you ever go to Canada, from Canada to the U.S., you have to go through customs before you land in the U.S. Just a tip for you out there. And then from Toronto to San Francisco, and we're finally back to Seattle, home sweet home, for the holidays.
Excellent. It has been a good trip. Brett, it's been great to travel with you. We look forward to seeing you all again soon.
And it's been wonderful traveling with you, Owen. Look forward to working with you again in the future.
You bet. You bet.
Owen and Brett tuning out for the last time, the conclusion of the worldwide tour of Windows Azure Platform University.